loud. Great. Awesome. So Dania, do you want to?
I'm there. I was just making sure I got that screen out of my way without exiting myself again. So first I'd like to welcome everyone to Bridging the Gap. I would like to welcome you and thank you for giving up your Saturday afternoon to be with us. Your time's really appreciated, especially for those who are coming out to support myself. So thank you. I would like to share a little testimony of what Juice Plus has done for me since starting it 7 months ago. Without getting emotional, because it's very exciting news. I knew in my body that it was shifting, something was changing. And just this week, I was proven by blood results that my prolactin level, I have a benign tumor on my pituitary gland. And with the help of Kristen and Juice Plus, my numbers are the best they've ever been since I first started struggling with this problem. And I could feel it in my body within the first month. And now I have the facts by blood lab report that my numbers are stable, and all because I put whole food into my body. Yay, yay. So thank you for letting me share that. And I got to share it on Thursday night when it was my first time sharing it. And someone else is hearing this that struggles with the same issue. So yay to Whole Foods.
Yes.
Yay to Whole Foods. So now I'd like to introduce Kristen, that I met 10 years ago when I was first looking for help with gut issues. And then I reconnected with her again this summer, and that's when she introduced me to Juice Plus. Not only did I start taking the product, but here I am now representing it and wanting to help people take the best health into their own hands, because that's when it really starts. Kristen is married. She lives in Milton. She has 3 teenagers. She's very, very passionate about helping families, specialized in helping women and their hormones. Lucky that I've been one of them. She's been a nutritionist for 15 years. She's been with the Juice Plus company for 13 years. And she's a joy to listen to because she's just so passionate about what she does and how she helps people. So Kristen, thank you so much. And I'll hand it over to you now.
Awesome. And usually that passion, as many of you know, make me go on and on and on. And so I have actually been working on, as I find my screen to share, I've been actually working on keeping my passion compact, but educating you at the same time. So this presentation we've done over and over and over again. And let me just keep the time close by as well. And so we've done this over and over and over again, and it was always an hour long. Not that that's a bad thing. However, we wanted to get it down. And so last Thursday, Dana, I think we got it down to 40 minutes. So let's see how we do today. But I don't, at the same time though, guys, I'm trying to open this up. So there we go. So at the same time, I want to make sure that you really understand why Dana has had the results that she had, and she's not the only one. There's been so many people with so many great results. Why many of you here that are on the call today, this afternoon, have also experienced amazing results. And then for some of you that are just coming to learn, you haven't experienced anything yet. I want us to really understand what's going on in our world, how Juice Plus can be a solution. It's not the only solution, but it is a solution that can dramatically transform your health. So we're really looking at how we can inspire healthy living. And there's many pieces to that, but the one simple change that we're going to talk about today is going to be something that will take you and your health and your family to a whole other level. So we know that in our society, in our world, we are unhealthy. We are becoming more unhealthy by the year, by the months, by the weeks. And we know that these statistics right here, we all know this, right? This is common. This is what we're seeing, and it's not going to get better because unfortunately our medical world, their training is very different. They, you know, it's not about root cause, it's about medicine for the symptom. And we can only do that for so long. So in terms of what I do and my passion, which has been this for 27 years, I've been in the wellness industry 27 years, and I always knew that there was, we have to get to the root cause. Okay. So when you can get to the root cause of something, what happens is this that you see here on the screen actually begins to change. All right. So as opposed to taking a supplement for a symptom or a drug for a symptom, it's about, can we shift our perspective and our mindset around how we view health and actually how our body works, which is what you're going to learn today. It's so exciting. And it actually is empowering because you'll leave here thinking, wow, there actually is something that I can do to feel better. And which is one of my greatest passions, is prevent chronic disease and slow the aging process. Okay, so one of our problems, environmental toxins, right? It's increasing. When I had my oldest daughter, who's 19, that's when I learned about the toxins that were in my home and that I was cleaning my house with, and what they actually do to our bodies and how they actually have contribute to disease. I was like, out they go. And that was 19 years ago. So we know that, as you can see here on the screen, if you read the bottom there under examples, those are just some of the places where environmental toxins actually become part of our body. And so the awesome thing is that Juice Plus helps your body on a daily basis as a lifestyle detoxify these out of your body. Because, right, it's about a lifestyle. It's not about just doing something once, going to the gym one time, you know, eating, you know, a healthy meal for 1 month, right? Doing something for 1 month, it has to become a lifestyle. So food, another problem, food quality is decreasing. We know that. I mean, I'm sure most of you know that, right? Most people, if you look in the grocery store, most people are eating food that is packaged, that is fried, that is boxed, that is jarred, that is fast food. As I will always say, that we are living in a time where burger is king and dairy is queen. And that is causing a big problem. So you know, if we look at here on preservatives, emulsifiers, all of these things, this is what we're putting in our body. And what is happening is we're becoming more toxic. And the more toxic we become, the more that we start to feel less and less vibrant and energetic. And we start seeing, I mean, women here 40 plus, or maybe even younger, can you raise your hand to say that you feel like your immune or not, well, your immune system is not as good as what it used to be, but your metabolism, I can't tell you how many women come to me and ask me the question, like, can't drop the weight, I have cravings, I don't have energy, I don't sleep well, I have horrible periods, I'm in perimenopause, and all of these things, right? And they're just not feeling good. We want to feel good. And so we're talking today about how you can do that, but it's important to lay the groundwork to see, well, what is the problem? Why do we feel this way? It's not just because all of a sudden, you know, 20 years ago, we didn't hear of all the problems that are in our world and the diseases. 20 years ago, it didn't exist. Why does it exist today? Why is it that we have more disease than ever before? That is the question. When we ask good questions, we will actually seek out better answers. Those are the questions we need to ask. And these are two big problems. So broccoli could actually lose up to 50 to 80%. It's somewhere between that. Of key nutrients before you actually purchase it. So when you buy, well, we'll talk about that in a second. Keep on moving along. So what can we do to be healthier? So it is, you can never out supplement a bad diet. I want to say that here. I want to say that if anyone tells you that you just have to take these supplements and everything is better, it does not work that way. It is a piece. Right down there, you see, eat real food. You have to have your good food regimen. I hate the word diet. your good food lifestyle. You have to eat clean food. You can't just take a pill and expect everything to change. However, you know, I see people that are not in a good place. They're eating a lot of the, you know, not so good things. They start taking this, and guess what changes? Their craving goes away. They actually have more energy now, and they're motivated to move their body, and they're motivated to, you know, meal prep or just do better things for their body, right? So we need to move our body. We all know that. We could do an entire workshop on just exercise alone. We need to sleep. Guys, if you are doing all the right things and you are not sleeping, sleep is everything. It's when your body repairs. It's when your body regenerates. It's when your body heals. You have to sleep. Now, when you're putting micronutrition into your body, like what we're talking about today, it's going to help you sleep better. Is it the only thing you need? No, but we need to start with a foundation, right? You can't build a house without the proper foundation. We're talking today about the foundation. So, manage stress. I could do an entire 12-week class on managing stress. This is a big one. And all of these things here that you see on the screen, when they're not part of our life, it increases stress, right? So managing stress is key. The more stress that you have, the more nutrients your body burns through. So that means people, like especially ladies listening, and now guys too for sure, but ladies, we are notorious for this. We have everything going on. If I was to ask you right now, did you sit down today? What would your answer be? You can tell me in the chat. Did you actually sit down today and just even breathe and just even focus on what you're grateful for, right? Most of us have not. And I'm guilty of that as well. So we have to manage that stress, because now if you're working all these jobs, if you're taking care of other people, whatever age group that is, if you're you've got mental stuff like we all do, the mental chatter, that's stress, right? Not eating the right foods, eating too much exercise. So that is going to burn through nutrients more. And guess what you need more of? So we need to drink water. You guys all know that. We need to use safer cleaning products, because it creates more toxicity within our body that weighs us down. Our immune system now is weighed down, and disease will thrive in that environment. And of course, we need to eat real food, which we're going to talk more about. So we're going to focus on right now, focusing on fruits and vegetables. So like I said, you can't out supplement a bad diet. I don't care if you're eating meat. I don't care if you're eating these other foods, you know, 20%, I use the 80-20 rule. What are you doing 80% of the time? And I shouldn't say I don't care. That's not the right terminology. That's not what we want to focus on. What I focus on, even though I am whole food plant-based, I might have meat here and there, but it's not something that's in my diet, food regimen regularly, because I don't feel good on it. So I choose that. But if you are eating meat, fine. However, are you just focusing on carbohydrates from rice and pasta and breads and that sort of thing? Or are you eating meat? Or are you eating tons of variety of vegetables? That's what we want. Experts agree that most diseases are preventable. So remember the diseases on slide 1? Those diseases are preventable with good nutrition. Good nutrition. It's just amazing what changes in our body with good nutrition. All right, so this is one of my favorite slides. I love talking about this. Oxidative stress, okay, and antioxidants. So take an apple. If you've ever cut an apple before, sliced it, and you see on the left-hand side, this is what happens to the apple, right? And if you've ever taken a lemon and you've wiped it, you know, on that apple, what happens when you wipe the apple on the lemon? The apple does not actually turn brown, right? So this is what happens in our body. You can liken your insides to this apple. So where does oxidative stress come from? We are bombarded by it every day. You can't get away from it, but what we can do is we can prevent it from actually tearing down our body, because it's eating at your body. You take a car and you look at the rust on that car, the rust is eating away at that car. Right? That's what's happening in your body. So oxidative stress is going to age you very quickly. If you start seeing lines, wrinkles, you know, your skin changing, your face changing, sagginess, that's from oxidative stress. It is part of aging. However, it does not have to happen the way it does for many people. Okay, and we're aging quicker because of all of the things and the hats and the stress that we have in our day. And it actually increases disease quicker. Okay, it's creating an environment within your body that disease thrives. Okay, so you have to remember, I always say this is really important. A person doesn't have cancer because they're sick. They have cancer. Is that right? A person doesn't have cancer. Cancer, you don't have, you're not sick with cancer. You have cancer because you're sick. That's what I want to say. The body is sick inside, therefore cancer thrives. Okay, so how do we change that? We absolutely can change that. And that goes for any disease, any at all. It doesn't just happen. If it's part of your lineage, yes, you're predisposed to it, but there's so many things you can do to make sure that that does not come to life in your body. Okay, so basically we need antioxidants. Guess where we get antioxidants from? We get them from fruits and vegetables and berries. And guess how much antioxidants we need? Well, we need it every single day. Okay, we need it every single day. So the good news is antioxidants come from fruits and vegetables and protect the cells from oxidative stress. Okay, so that is awesome news. That's why the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you, which is what we've been told. It's that they are so good for you, they could save your life. All right, Jada, be quiet. All right, you need 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. My question for you is, do you get 7 to 13 servings a day? Now, I would say it's probably even more. I went to a lecture, oh my gosh, probably 19, 20 years ago. And the doctor there actually said back then, 20 years ago, he said, our food today is like styrofoam. He said, like today, like now, you have to eat 10 oranges to get the nutrients from one orange back when our grandparents were around. That's a lot of oranges. And if you've ever bought organic oranges, they are not cheap. They taste really good though. So, and the problem is, I want to say this actually while I'm thinking about it, is organic is not perfect. It's better. We know that for various reasons, but it's not perfect because there's still the green picking, as you can see here on the screen. See these bananas? Bananas have to be green picked because we don't grow them here, right? They're shipped from southern parts of the world. So they have to be picked green because they would never get to us. But what is the problem with that is the nutrients of this produce comes into the plant in the last 48 hours of ripening. So that means if you're going out in your garden in the summertime and you're picking your tomato when it's green, that's not a good thing because the nutrients come into the plant in the last 48 hours of ripening. Okay, so there is nothing you can do right now in this climate that we are not growing anything besides a tower garden, which I'll talk about briefly. There's nothing we can do. We have to recognize that this is a fact. Okay, and we have to recognize that there's something we can do. This is another reason why Juice Plus is something that we recommend. So if you're an athlete and you do a lot of working out, you need a lot more than that. If you are pregnant, if you are nursing, if you're injured, if you have a health condition, you need more. Plain and simple. A doctor will not tell you that because that's not their education. Okay, they are trained in medicine. Okay. We know that as a fact. I have doctors in my family. They tell us that our doctor has said, like, we get 9 hours and then 9 years. That's not their specialty. Okay. So they also don't know these things, right? So 90% of Americans don't eat enough servings. We know that, and we don't get enough of variety. That's what I want to say is we need to have a variety of colors, a variety of produce. If I was to ask you, how many different kinds of produce do you eat in a week? Right? You probably would say, just like myself, I eat peppers all the time. I eat this all the time. I eat this all the time. It's actually a known fact that most people eat the same 12, and some people don't eat 12, but the 12 same fruits and vegetables. It's not hard to do that, right? Because how many fruits do we have now? Like we have apples right now. We have bananas right now. You might have pears right now. Like there's not a lot. So this is why I'm really want to I hope this is clear, is that this is why when we can get over 32 fruits, vegetables, and berries in this capsule that's vine ripened, dehydrated, and goes straight to your cells because it doesn't have to be digested, it is powerful. It's packing a powerful punch. So why is it that you want to use a whole food concentrate? If you have a pen and paper beside you right now, write down whole food concentrate, because it's so funny because we are so conditioned and programmed to think vitamins, 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 vitamins. And I actually, this is what I say to people. I said, when they say, oh, how are you doing? And they're like, my vitamins are going well. And I said, oh, so they're not vitamins. That is not quite how I say it, but I say it, oh, your whole food concentrates. So if anyone asks you what vitamins you take, you say, I'm taking whole food concentrates. That's just something that we have to train ourselves, because vitamins are not bioavailable in our body. There's some at Shoppers Drug Mart. I would definitely tell you, if you're shopping at Shoppers Drug Mart or any store like that, please just stop. Don't even bother taking anything, because it's a fact that we are peeing them out. There's actually been research done on porta potties on golf courses where there's more older people, and they actually, this is kind of gross, but I wouldn't want to be the person doing this, but they've actually tested the porta potties, and they found Centrum. A big one was Centrum, because that's what the pharmaceutical companies and the doctors will promote, because that's what the doctors are told to promote by the pharmaceutical companies. And they have dye. Oh, it's just horrible. So they found that in the feces of elderly, and also in the porta potties of these older people going into the washroom there. So we have an apple and we have a capsule right here. So the apple, well, let's start with the capsule because it's here. So 70% of Americans are trying to fill gaps with multivitamins, right? We know this. The problem is that multivitamins have a few isolated nutrients, okay, because they have to put those nutrients in, like essential oils, or they have to put food in there. And then what happens is it helps to absorb it into the cells. The reason they do that is because if you look here on the left-hand side, if you looked at the last time you looked at a vitamin bottle, you saw this, right? So when you see IUs, MGs, MCGs, any of that, that is telling you that this is man-made, lab-made. It means that the bioavailability, how quickly and how effectively it gets to your cells, is it tells you how effectively, and it's not very effective. So research shows that isolated vitamins, for example, may do more harm than good. So all of us are different. When we eat an apple, using that as the example, or taking Say Juice Plus, we're eating it. Your body knows exactly what you need in any given day, okay? When you take something like this, if you don't need that extra vitamin K, because all of us here need different levels, this is recommended daily allowance. It's not even up to par as to what we actually need for our body, not to mention it's not bioavailable and all the things, right? But you take an apple, which has approximately 10,000 phytonutrients, probiotics, fiber, all the things that our body needs and knows what to do with, and leaves out what it doesn't need, and is giving you naturally what is here on the left side of the screen. Look at here. Would you rather take something that was made in a lab? Because here's the thing, there are a lot of great companies out there. They're doing testing, they are, better quality product, right? And you're going to pay for that. And then there's ones that aren't, right? But there are, and I've tried many of these products, and yes, you can see a difference. The problem is long-term, right? And when we understand the difference between whole food concentrates and an actual lab-made vitamin, there's a big difference, right? We want our body to take what it needs. So look at that. That's pretty amazing. So what is Juice Plus? Well, I know I've said a lot so far, and you probably know what it is just by what I've said, but it is over 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries. And of course, we have the omega here, which adds more. Whole foods are harvested at peak of ripeness. That is key. Okay, we're not getting that anywhere else on the planet, hands down. So the nutrition is intact. The produce is pulverized. Okay, so it's not heated. It's at very low temperatures. the process is very meticulous because you have to be careful how you get the nutrients so that it doesn't break down and you can get it into a powder and into a capsule, right? So it's not juiced, it's dried. It's a very meticulous process. Okay. And it's tested to make sure the nutrients are there. So it's not like you're taking these going, well, I don't know if I'm getting, because it's NSF certified, which means that organization goes into Juice Plus at any time they want to, because if we're going to certify you, we need to make sure that what you're saying is actually happening, and it is. So plant powders are, and that alone is worth this right here. Plant powders are put into capsules or chewables like we give to kids, which are free. Full spectrum omega, which we'll talk about. So this is what you get right in here. Now, not only are you getting lemon, you're getting lemon peel, and it's in the skin of these like peels and berries, and it's in the skin and even the seeds where all the nutritional value is. They're getting all of that. They're not just taking, they're just taking pieces of it. You're getting all of it because you need all of it. Plant-based omega. So omega is essential. Okay, period. Exclamation mark, highlighted and bolded. We need omegas. If you are aging, which we all are here, it doesn't matter what decade we're in or generation we're in, we need omegas. And so especially if you're aging, if there's heart conditions, if there is skin issues, if there's your hair's like falling out, if I started taking these and my hair started getting thicker and thicker and growing like crazy. I actually just cut my own hair today. I'm like, I need this off. So that's a good thing. That's showing you your hair, skin, and nails are the cells that turn over very quickly. So if you're seeing results in that area, it means that the nutrients have gotten down deep into the cells, and now you're seeing that. Some people don't see that initially because we don't know what's going on inside of our body, right? Because like cancer, for example, grows for years and years before it actually is diagnosed, right? So if your hair, skin, and nails, for those of you taking it, have changed, that's a good sign. If it hasn't happened yet, don't worry, it's coming. You just have to be patient, and you have to remember your body is intelligent. It knows what it's doing, and it's saying to you, I'm not ready. You're like, I want weight loss. I want thicker hair. Your body's like, I'm not ready. Let me do my job. Okay, so hair, brain, your brain, guys, how many, as we get older, how many brain disorders are we seeing today? It's ridiculous. This can help protect the brain from further damage. It can help repair the brain, and any brain issues going on, neurological issues, whatever it is, you need the trio as well. You need both of those, okay? It's an investment, but trust me, it's worth it. Just like insurance, right? It's cold press, it's vegan. One of the things I'll say very quickly, it's got the 6 oils. These oils are powerhouse packed oils, and it's not from fish. Fish are toxic. Fish store toxins because they're fatty. They eat the algae, and then what happens is we eat the fish. But why don't we get rid of the fish and just eat the algae? That's what this company does. And then they take these oils here that you see on the screen to make sure that it does not become rancid, which creates more inflammation, and it helps your body. It's awesome. Okay, so Juice Plus does not have many products. I think they're coming out with something else this year, but they have the Tower Garden, they have the Trio, they have the Omega, and they have the shakes, and they have bars. So the shakes here are called complete shakes. They are a complete whole food. They have been studied, researched, third party, to show that it lowers glycemic level. Now that's a whole other class in itself. It stabilizes blood sugar. Okay, so all of us here, if you want to be well, if you want to have a strong immune system, if you want balanced hormones, if you want to reduce inflammation in your body, your blood sugar needs to be balanced. This does that. Okay, so it has sprouts in it. Sprouts, I mean, you can Google search or go on search engine DuckDuckGo and search that. Sprouts are amazing for you. And then you see here on the right-hand side, the different proteins we have. Yes, it is soy. And you have to understand that I was an anti-soy person for many years. We were taught soy is bad, soy is bad. But, you know, research, there's a lot of research on if it's the right quality of soy. And this doctor here, researcher, and Dr. Jan Roberto, if you're interested more, whoever invited you here can send you the Dr. Jan Roberto's science. The safety of soy depends on the source, the whole soybean, minimally processed as found in Juice Plus Complete. It cannot be GMO. It cannot be, or it has to be organic, okay, non-GMO. We have studies that show, third-party studies, we have over 42 of them, that are showing that ovarian cancer patients, so if someone has ovarian cancer, that is a very high estrogen-driven cancer. Phytoestrogens are not estrogen, okay? If ovarian cancer patients can have dramatic results with using the shakes and using the trio, and compared to the one that just used the trio, the group that used the trio, and compared to just people, women eating more fruits and vegetables, they had greater results in all areas. And so if that can happen, then that is a sign that it's not driving estrogen levels up. And especially women in menopause, we need to make sure those levels are balanced. And you don't just need to use them for shakes, you can use them for all different things. So bridging the gap, this is what you're eating, this is what you should be eating. Juice Plus fills the gap. That's what it's doing. We're not saying you can eat whatever you want and take this, no. But if you are in that place where your food, you're like, oh, my food's not the greatest, that's okay. You've got to start somewhere. This is a simple change. And I'm telling you, you keep putting it in, keep putting it in, keep putting it in every 4-month chunk, you are going to get better, because in 4 months, your immune cells completely regenerate over. So you start today, in 4 months, your immune system will be stronger, right? And then another 4 months, now they regenerated. So now it's taking all of this micronutrition and it's dumping it into the immune system, for example. And then what happens is your immune system is stronger. Same with your red blood cells. They die and regenerate 120 days. If you keep putting this in, you know, I tell people that if you just want to do it for a month, don't even bother. Don't waste your money, because your body it needs more. It needs longer time. Most people, majority of the population, are running on a deficit because they're taking the wrong kind of supplements. They're taking too much synthetics, or they don't know, right? We're running on a deficit. So you got to have that time. Juice Plus is unique. How am I doing with time? Oh, not bad. Wow. Okay. Juice Plus is unique. I've said most of this. It's food. It's not a multivitamin. It's not synthetic. It is food. It is food. I just want to keep saying that over and over. It is food, because it's amazing. I don't even think even my colleagues in the nutrition industry, in the health practitioner industry, that we really realize the power of food. Hippocrates said, let food be your medicine, medicine be your food. This is food, and we can't say it's medicine, right? We're not allowed to say that. We will have to be compliant. But you heard Dana's testimony. And you can hear so many testimonials. Kids that are just, well, I'll get there, third-party testing, and it's the most researched product on the planet. The product, not ingredients inside. That's what a lot of companies do. They study the ingredients inside. It's the product. That's what they're studying. You cannot use a product to study if the product is not pure, okay? That's really important to know. You cannot use a product that's not pure. Okay, so if 1 month it's pure, the next month, well, we're not so sure. And then the next month, you can't use that product. So it's pretty awesome. Juice Plus is not about treating or curing specific conditions. Your body heals itself. You give your body what it needs, and you remove, like what we talked about with the cleaning products, the chemicals, all of that. You remove what is causing, we'll say, imbalances. Your body starts to work much better. It's that simple. It's that simple. Healthful plant-based nutrition. They are the leader in plant-based nutrition. We all need more plants, and that's never going to change. Now that we're getting into more food shortage and we're getting into all of this supply chain issue, you know, this is going to become more important because, well, besides having a tower garden, this is going to become more important because what are we going to be able to find, right? I'm not putting fear in this anyway. We just have to think and just I'm always about being prepared, right? So we know that we have something that can help us stay healthy and strong. Highly concentrated, powerful nutrition, over 20 years of research. So here we have these are many of the universities that have studied the product. University of Toronto is in there, and it goes through the gold standard method. This is actually what most drugs need to go through, right? It's a long process, right? You can't just put a drug to market just like that, right? In 60 days, here's a new thing, right? To put in your body. No way, no way. We don't want to do that, right? So that's why they go through this. And this is what is actually happening in the medical world. And this is what's happening in our product as well. Very exciting. Here you have the different testing. This is not all of it, but this is all we could fit on the screen. But look at that, cardiovascular wellness, protects DNA, reduces inflammation, oxidative stress, supports immune system, quality of life. That's what we're looking for. Research results have attracted thousands of doctors, right? So if you see here on the screen, these are a lot of what this is doing for people, right? It's absorbed by the body. That's why all of this is happening. So if you have stress in your life, which we all do, we need to have this. There's nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do. So this is exciting. If you have children, if you're a grandparent, if you're an aunt, you can actually get started for yourself. And Juice Plus will give you up to the age of 21, as long as they're in school. They will give you free capsules, red and green. They don't give the purple, but red and green capsules or gummies. And this is just what they found so far. I believe it's much higher than this, but it is all based on surveys that we as the parents are asked to do. And over the period of time, you're saving something like $3,000 or $4,000 you're getting for free. That's amazing. No other company does that. When I started 13 years ago, this is why I started. I'm like, well, I've always been about prevention. And I was like, yeah, sign me up. I didn't even have to hesitate. And then I started learning more and I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is amazing stuff. So I don't think there's anyone in the US. So the question is, people say, well, what does it cost? And if you're looking at the trio, it costs you $3 a day. Okay. It's important to break this down, right? To really understand, what is it that we pay more than $3 a day? So Tim Hortons and Starbucks, definitely Starbucks, you buy a matcha with oat milk and it's like $6.50. A grande is $6.50. It's crazy. So if you think about that, where are you spending money in places where it might not actually be contributing to a longer life or a healthier life or making you feel good? Because we all are. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time and I have conversations all the time, and we all are spending money somewhere. And it really is true that we spend our money where our values are. Right. I will say that I do like shopping, but I don't spend my money shopping. If I know that I will spend my money I will spend it on my health, hands down, all the time. I will just not go and buy those shoes. I will just not go and whatever else it is, because I know at 47, I start, I'll say 27 years. I know that had I not, let's just go back 19 years when my daughter was born, when I got into really the holistic space, I will tell you that at 47, I would not be where I am today health-wise if it wasn't the changes that I made. I wouldn't, because I talked to other women my age group, even younger, and telling me about, joint issues and just stuff we experience as we age. It's natural, right? But I know what can be done. And for me, it's worth it. So it's $3 a day, free for kids. You're saving a huge chunk of money just even for the kids that you wouldn't have to put out there. A shake is $3.25. Where can we find, we go to these places and it's not good for our body in any way, and we're paying more, right? And then of course, add on additional $1 for the omega. If you go to a health food store and you look for a vegan omega, because I encourage you, please don't, you don't want to be eating fish oil. It is creating more inflammation inflammation than anything, than you want, I should say. Alyssa, who is our leader in our community, which I'll talk about the community after we're done here. This is like, I think this is our last slide, is she actually specializes in cancer, and she teaches actually at the Nutrition College, the cancer program. And she actually has, in her practice, she was using fish oil, and there was, you know, higher DHA levels, higher whatever it is that they needed. And their lab reports were, nobody would know this. Nobody would know this if we would not know this as practitioners. She said that they were coming back, their lab reports were coming back really bad after she put them on these fish oils, and really good quality fish oils. And so she said, you know what? She researched the vegan omega. She's like, well, there's no harm. It's not going to harm. Put them on this omega, and their labs changed dramatically. The inflammation, the CRP levels, which is an inflammatory marker that we find in the bloodstream, and all the different labs that she was doing actually dramatically dropped, like the ones that needed to drop. And the other markers that they were looking at, they wanted to increase, actually did. So that's powerful to me, because she's seen it in the markers, right? So if you're like, yeah, so $3 a day, $1 extra, like I just ask you this, is how is it that you want to, how do you feel right now, right? With your health, how do you feel? Like, be honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, you can't change anything, right? Just be honest. If you're like, oh God, not so good, it's all good. It's all good. You just have to start somewhere. And then I ask you, how is it if you could actually feel, even if you don't believe it, if you could actually feel even 20% more energy, because energy is something women tell me all the time. If you could feel better, if you could wake up and say, wow, I actually have not felt this energy in a long, long time. I didn't even know this existed. What would that change in your life? If if you're dealing with something in your body right now, and you could actually invest, right? $4 a day, for example, and you could actually see things change, get your blood work done, and then you go back after 4 months, and then, maybe another 4 months, whenever, and you saw changes. How would that change your life? That I want you to think about that. How would that change your life? Because if so let me get this. I say this all the time. You'd think I just roll it off my tongue, but when you have your health, you have 1,000 dreams. When you don't, you have only one. And so the Tower Garden, as you can see here on the screen, if you want to learn more about how you can grow your own chemical-free food with no green thumb, because I don't have a green thumb, you need to come to our webinars that we have, okay? Because this is going to help you to do that as well. This is an amazing, affordable, amazing thing. I thought that other slide. Okay, I thought it was on this slide. This is our last slide. So basically, what happens is you just become a customer. You can just not sign up, you just order, right? Whoever invited you here, you go back to them and you say, I want to put whole food concentrates in my body. If you're somebody who wants to actually, not actually have to pay, every single month for your products, and you're like, you know what, I know other people, you can refer them to us, and then we can help you get your products paid for. Because I will tell you, if you go to the health food store, this will never be available to you. I shop at Organic Garage in Oakville. I have been shopping there for 15 years. I moved to Milton 16 years ago, 15 years shopping at Organic Garage. I have sent so many people, and it's okay. It's totally, I'm not saying like, oh, I should be getting, I sent so many people because it's a better deal there. And why wouldn't I, right? We're going to tell people anyways, why wouldn't I? But I've never gotten a single thing. I've never gotten now because I go so often, they'll be like, here, don't worry about this, right? The cashiers, right? But, no one's ever sent me a commission check kind of thing to say, here's, $50 towards your groceries, right? But something like this where Juice Plus doesn't, I know the time, guys. Wow, not bad. Juice Plus does not want to sell this in the store, because many of you would relate and say, I go to the health food store. My friend actually tells me, she's like, Kristen, every time I go to the health food store, I never know what to do. So she's texting me because she's like, I stand there and there's all these vitamin Ds and all these whatever. If this was on the store shelf, you would just pass it by. And then if you saw the price of, this compared to the neighbor, that's like half the price, you're going to go half the price. But you didn't know that because the person that invited you is educating you. You didn't know that it's better quality and tested, and because those products on the shelf at the store, most of them are not tested. And if it is tested, it's very few. So you didn't know that they're vine ripened. You don't know all this stuff, right? So Juice Plus chooses to go, and they've been around 50 years. Okay, so they've chosen for 50 years to go through people like myself, like Dana, like Victoria, to be able to share, Hannah, to share this with other people, because we know it will change your life. Now, the other thing, last but not least, and then Dana, if I miss anything, you let me know, is if you go to a store, you're also not going to get support, right? So, when I set people up, and this is not just me, other girls on here as well, when we set people up, you are part of a community of many, many women that are on the same journey as you. You have every Tuesday night, you have educational sessions happening in our group on every health topic imaginable, because it's not just about taking a product. It is about education, learning, lifestyle, right? We help you through that. I'm on with the people I set up, I'm messaging them, especially in the beginning, I'm messaging them to make sure, are you good? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Do you have a question? Da, da, da. They will never get that anywhere. And guess what? People that I get started, they'll see the results, but I've had people tell me this. They say, you know what? I don't want to go anywhere because I've never gotten the support at a naturopathic clinic. I've never gotten the support with other practitioners I've been with. I've never had this. So I think aside from this is great, but what we provide in our community is even greater. You have access to programs that you would spend. The program we're running right now, that's an adrenal program all about stress, changing your relationship with stress and how to support your body so your adrenals are supported so that you don't break down and you end up on the floor and you have to be picked up, is that program would cost you $1,200. The Gut Fix program would cost you I think $600 to $800. You get it for free. It's absolutely amazing, I believe, what we offer. So I know I'm a little bit enthusiastic, but I've been doing this for years and years and years, and I promise you won't get that anywhere else. So it really is a gift of hope, and it will actually, I say this from my heart, this is a movement that you maybe never have heard of this before, but just wait, because it is going to be, it's coming by store. We are on the map. Dana, did I miss anything?
No. And if we did, we'll put it out to question.
Shred.
The shred. We're going to talk about the shred and do some question and answers.
Yeah, so let me just talk about the shred, and then if there's any questions, I will answer them, because I haven't been looking at the chat. We have a program as well called the Shred. It's called Shred 10. It's 10 days, and it is a program where you have the opportunity, no matter what level you're at. I've been in this industry for many years. I'm at a place where I've been doing lots of things for so long. I do the shred. This is something you can do every day. But think about coming together with a group of women and men that want to join too. And we use the shakes, and because the shakes will help with gut health. We're really working on improving gut. You're taking the trio and hopefully the mega. And we focus on getting more plants in through this, but getting more plants in through eating healthier, right? If you're just starting out, maybe it's one meal a day, you do a shake, and then you're focusing on another meal that has more plants, right? You keep it to the level you're at. We focus on reducing gluten. Maybe for some of you, you're not at that place yet. That's okay. Maybe you go from white bread to, I don't know, like a whole grain bread or something. It's about making changes. And there's a list of guidelines that we follow. It's not written in stone. It's taking you from where you're at and walking with you at the level that you're at to make sure that after 10 days, you feel accomplished, you feel better. And then the next time around, you do it again. And hopefully you keep those habits about shredding bad habits and bringing new ones in. So, and that's free too. Don't we love free? So I'm going to actually stop sharing and I'm going to find out, because I see there's 8 chats. I don't know if that's because Dana, you've
I've been answering
chatting in there.
Share.
So awesome. So is there anything, actually, do you want to let me know if you, can you read them for me? And then, oh, a puppy dog in Lee's screen. Very cute. So yeah, so Dana, if there's any more questions that I haven't answered, or is there anyone that wants to maybe just raise their hand or unmute yourself? You don't have to turn your screen on and ask any questions. Everyone's quiet today? No questions? All right, well, we have, you know what, let me just turn this recording off. And